Hey guys, welcome to Masquerade of Motherhood, or as I like to call it, the Mom Show. I'm your host, Courtney Doyle, and this is a place where I am giving you permission to not have it all together. I have some really exciting news. Due to the response from the podcast, I have decided to take the Mom Show on the road. Yep, you heard that right. I am looking to partner with mom groups, small groups, women's events, or Bible studies. They could be in your home or in your church. I want us to join together and remove the masks we wear and claim our identity in Christ. If you're part of a group and you would like for me to speak, follow the link to my website, CourtneyDoyleMinistries.com, and complete the request.
The therapist looked at me. She goes, "What does she need to know next? What would make your life easier if she could do, what could she do?" And I said, potty train. Okay. I was like, she needs to potty train. She goes, okay, so let's back that down. She goes, she needs to be able to pull her pants up and down. And I was like, yes, she goes, that's what we'll work on. Don't try to see where she needs to be. I wanted her potty trained. And the therapist was like, but what does she just need to do next? Okay. And so that kind of mindset I have adopted into all my parenting. Let's not try to say, I want my children to be here and emotionally healthy and have good friendships and make good choices. And no, what are they struggling with right now? And what's just maybe one step we can take?
I love this advice so much. And it's one of the reasons it is our Mom 101 tip. Take one step. I don't know about you, but when I look at my to-do list, I can easily become overwhelmed. When I set unrealistic expectations for myself, for my marriage, for my children, I may end up let down and really feeling a little defeated. I want to share a story about a young girl who 32 years ago very much wanted a boy to be her husband. We had talked extensively about what life would be like as a married couple, and we could not wait. We also had talked about what the proposal would look like. We had talked about, rings and the timing of this pending engagement and marriage. To say I was expectant was really an understatement. But he had also made it very clear that he would not propose during a major holiday. You see, especially Christmas, because he also has a birthday at Christmas. And he just was like, I don't want to add another really pivotal life moment on to, Jesus's birthday and my birthday. It's too much. Okay, fair enough. But as Christmas approached, there were subtle hints that were dropped that there was a great surprise that he had in store for me. Hints like I would be so excited and there was something, it was going to be something that I had wanted for a really long time. Oh, this one was the best. This will last forever. I knew it, though he had made it very clear that a proposal would not happen at a major holiday, especially Christmas. Clearly, he's changed his mind. I talked with all of my friends. They were in agreement that this was happening, and my expectations were through the roof for Christmas Eve. As the evening unfolded, I watched intently for signs of when it's going to happen, right? I watched the body language of those around me. I snuck away to touch up my lipstick and my hair because, you got to be prepared for pictures, right? I don't even remember what other gifts I was given on that Christmas because this was the moment that I had dreamed of and that I was expecting. Well, at one point, my mother, not so quietly, made sure that the video camera was still recording. People shuffled their positions in the room, so I knew, here it comes. This is the moment. The greatest moment of my life is about to unfold in front of my family, and there's going to be everybody witnessing this devotion and this love that we have for each other. Well, I am presented with a box. It's larger than a ring box, but hey, he's creative. I begin to tear through it so eloquently. And I rip open the paper and tear open the box. And to my surprise, there is a stuffed animal, Dalmatian dog, that when touched, whimpers over and over and over again. And my first thought was, oh, there's a ring, right? Attached to said stuffed animal. So I obviously, but begin to turn this stuffed animal around as I'm inspecting it. I mean, I all but pulled the stuffing out at one point because surely there is a ring inside of here, right? Now, let me mention this also. Let me back up. I love black and white. I've had my rooms decorated in black and white, especially at that time in my life. And I really wanted a Dalmatian dog. I mean, I had been begging my parents for a Dalmatian dog. So this Dalmatian stuffed animal made sense that maybe what he has purchased for me is a real dog. And it's around here. The real dog is going to come out. The engagement ring is going to be tied around its neck and it's going to come running into the room, ring on the collar, right? Right? This is how this is going down. Wrong. It's not how this is going down. And as my family laughed hysterically at what ultimately was a joke, my heart sank with rejection. You see, no one else in the room, especially my sweet boyfriend, knew that I had created this whole scenario and I had set my expectations so unrealistically. He was just having some fun and they were in on what was supposed to be fun. Here I am, quick to set unrealistic expectations. And this many years later, I've caught myself doing that time and time again. I'm actually currently in a Bible study, Sermon on the Mount with Jen Wilkin. And just today, she was talking about right as Jesus is about to share the Beatitudes with the disciples. And she explained it like this. She said, Jesus was setting the disciples up for what was to come, which was simultaneously exploding their expectations. I think we can explode our expectations, and we should, because when we do, it frees us to go back to the tip I'm sharing with you today. It frees us to just maybe take one step instead of having these unrealistic expectations of maybe a situation you're in with a child. In Sarah's case, it's a child with a disability. And though Sarah has dreams and expectations that are good, when you set yourself up for failure and your child for failure, it's not a good place to be in. So what if the expectation is lofty? What if the dream is big? But instead of focusing only on the dream, we focus on the one step that could get us there. That way, if maybe the path looks different or the outcome is even better than you can imagine, you're not let down along the way because you've accomplished one thing at a time. So what I want you to think about today is as a mom, what is one thing you need to do? Is the laundry piling up and you haven't been able to get to it? Could you just maybe fold one basket? And I know that's small, but small doesn't mean bad. What is one thing you need to pray about? I mean, look, we're moms. We probably have a notebook full of things that we could pray about. But what if we just prayed about one thing today? What is one step that your child needs to take to reach an end goal? What if we took that big goal and we broke it down into smaller pieces? My daddy used to have an analogy and he would say, you can eat an elephant if you cut him up in small enough pieces. And he's so right, because what if you take that large expectation and you break it down into just one next step, one next thing? That is what Sarah was talking about. And that is what I wanted to carry over into this Mom 101 tip with you. Set your expectations, but be realistic about the path that you actually need to take to get there. I never got a Dalmatian dog, and I'm actually quite grateful that I didn't. I did ultimately get proposed to, And it was so much better than I could have envisioned. And you know what? I don't share it with a major holiday. It is our special, memorable time. So let's think about it. Where have we maybe created unrealistic expectations that we could maybe dial it back a little bit? Where could we take one step to accomplish a goal that we are looking forward to? Where could we guide our children to break down the expectations and do just one next thing? Eventually, you're going to chip away at all of those things, and you may find yourself at a much better outcome than what you had imagined. Until next time.
If you want to print, screenshot, or share this week's verse, head to the show notes where you're going to find a link to my website and a graphic for you to use. Thanks so much for listening to Masquerade of Motherhood with Courtney Doyle. We want to be sure this blesses you and other mothers. And in order to do this, first, you must subscribe. This way you won't ever miss an episode. Also, if you'll rate and review this podcast on iTunes or wherever you're listening, this will increase our reach to other mothers who need a little encouragement, a community, and a whole lot of Jesus. We're so glad you're here.